I'm getting to a point when it comes to Honkai Star Rail that even though there's a new character coming out, I'm thinking that I'm having a hard time really pushing myself to summon for characters. But I do know that every new character that usually comes out for every patch, there is always someone that's going to be top tier in the meta. And it's happened many, many times over. Some of the top tier units are very, very popular units. We've had Akron obviously be up at the top. We have a Glaya that just came out recently. Herda is up there in tier 0 in a lot of different, well, actually in both MOC, Pure Fiction, and Close in Astral. But at the same time, it's tough to say in regards to, like, I guess being able to summon for every new unit that comes out, right? I'm like here just to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm even looking at this tier list right here for Pride Win, just kind of in general. And as you can see, it's mostly new damage dealers, and then new supports or semi-newer supports. To me, it just feels like no matter what, every new unit is going to be great. And that's not a bad thing, but it's bad for my wallet, right? But today, we're going to be talking about Tribbie. And if you should be summoning for Tribbie. Now, I'm going to preface this like I do every video. We talk about the banners in general, right? I'm not talking about just summoning for Tribbie. Tribbie might be the best, like, better, like, when it comes to Harmony units, right? And we're looking at Apex characters. She might be tier 0 across the board. Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, right? But that doesn't entirely mean that the banner is worth your money, right? So, we're going to talk about the 4 stars, and we're going to talk about Tribbie, and see if you're getting the best bang for your buck, right? Now, if you like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, leave a comment about what you think about the current state of Honkai Star Rail, and if you are summoning for Tribbie. Now, let's go ahead and dive into Tribbie really quick, because I'm going to go a little different with this, because we already know from, you know, all the stuff that's come out about Tribbie and, you know, all the damage calcs and stuff, or not damage calcs, but, you know, pre-test or beta testing. That's what I'm trying to get at. That Tribbie is going to be amazing. So let's go ahead and go over those abilities really quick. First things first, we got the 100 Rockets basic attack, which just deals quantum damage. Pretty standard. But it looks like she's going to be scaling off of her HP. So that's pretty dang good. Looks like her main stat's going to be obviously HP to kind of scale off of. But let's go ahead and dive into the other stuff before we come to that concrete conclusion. Where'd the gifts go? Skill gains numinicity, during which all target allies have their all type res pen increased. So this is a 30% increase as well, which is really, really good. Being able to penetrate and do higher damage. So we got the ultimate here. Activates a zone that deals minor quantum damage to all enemies. While the zone lasts, increases damage taken by enemies, which it looks like it's going to be increases enemy targets damage taken by 37.5%, and deals minor quantum damage to a target that has the highest HP among all targets based on the number of enemies attacked. For some reason I wanted to say attached. But yeah, it looks like it's going to do 15% of Tribbie's max HP, which confirms that with this ultimate, and you're going to be casting it a lot, her 2 big stats are probably going to be energy regeneration and HP mainly. Mainly HP, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so you'll probably be running, what, a chest piece, chest piece of HP, and then probably boots of speed. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. But that's what I take that as. It looks like HP is going to be the main thing going on. And then, of course, we got her talent, Busy as Tribbie. Pardon me. After other ally characters use their ultimate, Tribbie launches a follow-up attack, dealing quantum damage equal to 22.5% of Tribbie's max HP to all enemies. Again, confirming that she is going to be able to scale off of that HP and do massive amounts of damage. I will say that's great, because I think that for so long we've been focused on like attack scaling, crit scaling, all that. So it is really nice to be able to have an HP scaled team member, right? And we're not solely focused on just speed, but I'm pretty sure like her main stats are going to be HP, speed, and energy regen or regeneration, however you want to say it. This effect can be triggered 1 time per character, and the trigger count for other characters is reset when Tribbie uses her ultimate. So every time she uses her ultimate, we're good to activate this again. And then, of course, the technique, if you're happy and you know it after using technique and upon entering battle, obtains pneumaticity for 3 turns, which, again, as we talked about before, pneumaticity increases all type resistance penetration by 30%. So for 3 turns, you're getting that 30% penetration. Now, Tribbie by herself is really, really good and probably going to be, honestly, probably going to be top tier. Probably going to be top tier, tier 0 as a Pride win. Fighting alongside, you know, the Robins, the Ron Mays, and of course, Sunday, right? I think that, honestly, she's going to be up there. But what about her 4 stars, right? Now, to me, and I'm going to keep it a $150 with y'all. I honestly think that it's tough right now being a player of Honkai Star Rail. And the reason goes as follows, right? We look at this tier list, right? We see all these super good characters. You know, you got your Fireflies, you got your Acrons, you got even Jade for Pure Fiction, you got, you know, all this good stuff going on with like Robin, Ron May, Sunday, Jiao Cho, you know, Ting Yun Fugui, Aventurine still being one of the best, or not one of the best preservation character on here, right? And so we have all these characters, right? But it always seems like every update, there's a great character that comes out and it surpasses all expectation. I'll get an example. The Herda. The Herda is the best damage dealer right now, from what it seems like. Or at least one of. Yeah, and you could see it like from here. We look at this, and Pride Win is not like the end-all be-all when it comes to tier list, but it is a generalized look at what goes on, right? I don't take Pride Win as gospel, but I do use it as kind of a gauge. Now, when you look at this, obviously Pure Fiction Phase Out is not going to be your go-to. And then, of course, Pure Fiction Firefly is not going to be your go-to. But they're good in MOC and, of course, Apocalyptic Shadow. But why switch when you could just run Herda if you have the Herda? The Herda just works in everything that she just put in. Like, it's just amazing. You know, and of course for me, I'm always using Acheron, even though Acheron is below these 3, but I'm always just using Acheron for anything. I'm not worried about running Boot Hill. I'm not worried about running Yunli or Rappa, right? I even got a Glaya and I'm still trying to build her and I don't even care really, you know? So to me, I look at this and I always go like, is summoning for Tribbie my end-all be-all? And the answer is no, because it just seems like there's always a new, better unit always coming out, you know, instead of just being like a complementary unit to another character. And you could argue, you could say like, oh, well, we had, you know, the Super Break teams, and so we had Ting Yun Fugui, great. But I don't think it's right to be able, like, to go through all these banners, right? And you have so many 5 stars that you just can't keep up. I can't keep up on my account. I have more than enough money. Let's be honest. Like, I have more than enough money. I've summoned multiple times on these characters. And to me, I just am like, I look at this, I'm like, why do I bother? And this is just personally for me, right? But if you're starting out in this game and you're seeing how the whole like bullet sponge bosses and just overall there's so many different things to consider, like you have to have 3 different types of teams and not all of them work together, and I don't know. I look at Tribbie, and Tribbie would be a character that works for a lot of different teams. You know, Tribbie is good, but I'm also looking at the 4 stars. We got Hook, we got Lynx, and we got Gwenaifen. And to be honest, you scroll down, Hook, one of the worst DPSs in the game. If you're summoning for any type of character, like, you're gonna want to summon for another DPS after this, right? And then we also got Lynx. Lynx is still okay. Like, she could be ran, but she's very, like, as this category says, niche. She's not gonna be somebody that you're looking to use as your healer at all times, right? And then of course we got Gwenaifen, and Gwenaifen apparently is still considered meta. I never see people using Gwenaifen ever, even like free-to-play players, because most of the time, if you're running Gwenaifen, or not, if you're running Nihility teams, right, like, you're already running Pella, and Pella is still considered one of the best 4 stars in the game. Like, Pella is amazing, right? So what's the point of running Gwenaifen if you already got Pella? Pella's good. You could say typing, That's fine. You could say that. But I don't see it. I don't see why. Um, so to me, when I look at this banner, right, with Tribbie, with Gwenifin, with Lynx and Hook, if I'm looking at this as a new player, those 4-stars look disgusting. And not in the good way. Tribbie looks disgusting in a great way. And Tribbie would be one of those characters where I go, yeah, you could summon for her. But at the same time, I'm looking at everything that's going on, and I'm on the fence of like even trying to summon for Tribbie, or even like I said I was going to summon for My Day, and just recently with all the stuff that's been going on, I'm considering like not even summoning on My Day or summoning altogether. Like maybe I will. I don't know, but I need to see what's gonna happen with all these old characters, right? Like if you look at our bottom half, right? People could still say like, oh, I clear with Sella, you know, and that's fine. You could say that. That doesn't mean they're good. It just means that you were able to challenge yourself and clear it with a character that's just subpar. Because to me, at this point, I'm waiting to see how HSR handles using older characters that do need these buffs. Like Queen Yi used to be like top tier when it came to her being E6. Now she's not even usable. You know, Sampo used to be a great Nihility character. Now he's down in the, you know, below. Even Lynx. Lynx used to be really, really good. Didn't seem like too long ago Lynx was on a banner, and I was like, yeah, Lynx is pretty good. You know, and just in general, looking at all these 4-stars that could be bumped up. And yeah, you know, you could say like, oh, well, you're looking at the 4-stars, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, people who start this game are not going to spend $100 to $200. They're going to be freaking going for the 4-stars and just summoning for funsies. And well, if they can't even keep up with current day content, I mean, you could even make the argument though, like, oh, well, they're new and 4-stars going through the story is kind of easy to use. You could say that. I'm just trying to think of, you know, why is this game like in its spot? I don't know. I'm kind of more rambling. I am kind of more rambling, but overall, I'm going to say that Tribbie is probably going to be great across the board. Like Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, all the stuff that you've probably been seeing about Tribbie from guide makers and stuff is probably true. I just think that when it comes to the game state right now, it's a bad time to summon. And I think that we need to vote with our wallets and say, you know what? Instead of just making these overpowered characters and then making the bosses bullet sponges for these overpowered characters, you know, like our top 1% of major characters here, we should focus more on, you know, making quality battles, quality over quantity of battles, you know. And yeah, you could even make the argument of Gallagher and, you know, March 7th the Hunt here being like a top tier. And yeah, March 7th the Hunt is great and Gallagher is a phenomenal healer, but to be honest with you, like outside of that, like that's it. Like all these are like $100, 100. Like if you were to summon for every single character here, right, outside of Trailblazer and 4-stars, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's $1,900. That's insane. But yeah, I digress. Kind of rambled. Tribbie, is she worth summoning for? Yes, if you're looking for a great Harmony character. But at the same time, I would say wait right now until we know for certain, like, you know, what's going on with some of the revamped older characters, right? So that's going to be it today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Deeply appreciate you all kind of tuning in and seeing how it is. I do apologize again for the rambling. I think that me being more honest about this game, when it comes to like my feelings about it, instead of just going like, hey, you should summon for this character because it's great for your account. Right now as it stands, like it feels like every character is a should summon. And the reason why I don't like that is because, again, it becomes more about the money instead of worrying about, you know, the quality of the content that you're providing. And 3.1 just seems like it's going to be not a great patch. So that's going to be it for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree. Would love some other opinions on this. But as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe.